Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at noon.
Now at noon, a former Orange County deputy accused of murdering his wife last year is back in court. What his attorneys are now seeking coming up. Plus, top Florida leaders say they want to end all vaccine mandates for children. Some doctors are pushing back. Good afternoon. I'm Julie Broughton. Thank you for joining us. It's a plan that is making national headlines. And as News 6's Angie Casada explains, this would have big implications for school districts.
Yes, students here at Princeton Elementary and students all across the state of Florida are required to get shots for a variety of diseases. But if the governor and the state surgeon general get their way, then those requirements will be gone.
The Florida Department of Health, in partnership with the governor, is going to be working to end all vaccine mandates in Florida law. All of them. All of them.
Speaking to a cheering crowd Wednesday, Florida Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo announced plans to end all vaccine mandates for children in the state. He says it's about parental rights and medical freedom.
Who am I as a government, or anyone else, or who am I as a man standing here now, to tell you what you should put in your body?
The decision, though, was quick to get pushback, with some doctors and top medical groups warning it could leave the state's most vulnerable at risk.
You have some kids who really cannot get vaccinated. Maybe they have cancer or on chemotherapy. They have some other immunocompromising condition, and we protect them through the protection around them.
The move would have to happen on two fronts, with the Department of Health eliminating certain rules and the legislature taking action to repeal some vaccine mandates that have been in place for decades.
And you throw out the vaccines, the vaccine requirements, and you're rolling back decades of progress.
We reached out to local school districts, including right here in Orange County, that says that they're going to continue to follow state law and any guidelines from the health department. In Sumter County, the superintendent was definitely backing the governor's plan, saying the rights of parents should top government overreach. Reporting in Orlando, I'm Angie Casada, News 6.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is testifying on Capitol Hill for the first time since the massive shakeup at the CDC. It comes as a large number of both current and former public health officials call for his resignation. CBS's Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
Good morning. Good morning.
HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. faced lawmakers amid growing concerns over changes he's made to the nation's top public health agency.
These changes were absolutely necessary adjustments to restore the agency to its role as the world's gold standard public health agency.
The previously scheduled Senate Finance Committee hearing comes a week after the firing of CDC Director Susan Monteras and the resignations of several high-profile agency officials.
We are the sickest country in the world. That's why we have to fire people at CDC.
On behalf of parents and schools and teachers all over the United States of America who deserve so much better than your leadership. That's what this conversation is about, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time.
The Trump administration has defended Kennedy, even as public health experts sound the alarm over new guidelines restricting eligibility for COVID vaccines and his overhaul of a key vaccine advisory panel.
On Wednesday, a letter from 1,000 current and former HHS staffers called for Secretary Kennedy to step down, arguing his actions are compromising public health. At a rally this morning, Democratic lawmakers, who are also doctors, echoed those concerns.
This is not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about the American healthcare system.
Secretary Kennedy has long argued the CDC is broken and needs to return its focus to infectious disease, invest in innovation, and rebuild trust. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Time now is 12:04. Let's take a live look outside in Daytona Beach as we turn to our forecast. Really looking beautiful there along the coast with some blue sky. We are keeping an eye on the tropics, though. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is here, and we officially have a new invest, but this is an area you've been talking about for the last several days.
Right. Now, this wave, by the way, we're going to be talking about it, Julie, probably for the next 10, 12, 13 days. So this is one that we just have to gradually monitor. watch the evolution of it, watch how it develops. Once we start getting more computer model runs, once we get hurricane hunters in there, we're going to get a much better view and idea of what this system is all about. So yes, it has officially been designated by the National Hurricane Center as Invest 91L. That does not mean it's a named storm just yet, but now the National Hurricane Center is backing the probability that this could become our next named storm. And now we're going to get more routine forecast models from it that are really focused on hurricane models. So you can see here, this is just the beginning of the envelope of model runs we're going to start getting. This is just a few. We'll get more as we progress into the evening hours. Jonathan Kegas will have a new update on that. But you can see the overall trend is going to continue to move towards the west over the next couple of days, towards the northern Leeward Islands. As of now, has an 80% chance of potential development. But beyond that, I'll be talking more about that coming up in just a little bit. But let's take you quickly outside right now. Take a live look outside. Cape Canaveral temperatures at this point in time into the mid to upper 80s. As of right now, though, we are looking mostly dry. You can see most of the rain continuing to stay just offshore. In Daytona Beach, another nice start to the afternoon. We're at 85 degrees there in Daytona. Throughout the afternoon, these temperatures will continue to gradually climb to near 90 degrees inland. We'll be in those upper 80s to near 90 degrees as well along the coastline. But we're going to be under this pretty stagnant weather pattern over the next few days. Moisture to our south, drier air to the north. How is that going to play out since we're kind of stuck in the middle? We'll have more details on that and a look at the real future cast of Invest 91L coming up in just a little bit.
Okay, Candace, thanks. We'll see you then. Developing now at noon, a former Orange County Sheriff's Office sergeant accused of fatally shooting his estranged wife last year appears in court. Anthony Shea is looking to be released on bond despite the charges. News 6's Mark Lehman joins us live now outside the courthouse. And Mark, a lot of evidence has been presented so far.
Yeah, that includes audio recordings and pictures of the bedroom where the victim's body was found. The defense claiming she committed suicide and that her husband is entitled to bond in this case, but the state argues that he should remain in jail on that charge of first-degree murder. Now, during today's hearing, the lead detective for this case was called. He went through the timeline of what investigators believe happened the day Orange County Sheriff's Lieutenant Ellie Shea died in her home in October 2024. Her husband, former Orange County Sergeant Anthony Shea, told detectives he found his wife on their bed with a gun on her chest. The couple had been fighting constantly since the discovery of an affair by Anthony Shea, which resulted in his suspension. He said his wife had become overwhelmed and depressed, but investigators believe he killed his wife and tried to make it look like a suicide by using her phone to send a text message to himself the day of her death. That was read in court.
The first blue bubble that is pictured, could you read that blue bubble?
Just the Brussels. Tony, I can't do this anymore. Please understand it's too much what you did to me. I can't anymore. Take the girls for a drive. Give me space, please.
And is that the message that was sent just seconds before this recording begins on Ms. Shea's phone?
Yes.
What he's talking about there is an inadvertent 54-minute recording, which investigators say they could hear Anthony Shea telling his child their mother was sleeping. Deputies believe he waited 40 minutes to call 911. They say that audio proves the death was not a suicide. Now, this bond hearing was scheduled for an hour, but it's gone on longer than that. The judge said that she would take a break at noon, which just happened. We just saw the defense attorney walk by moments ago. Things will resume at 1:30 this afternoon. We'll keep you updated with the developments from this hearing. For now, reporting live in Orange County, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Mark, thank you. New at noon, Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier and the Hillsborough County Sheriff held a news conference in Tampa where they discussed the dismantling of a large-scale diesel theft.
These individuals were responsible for 350 diesel fuel thefts at 70 locations within 13 counties across this great state. They're responsible for stealing and the theft of 185,000 gallons of diesel fuel.
We're told of those counties impacted, 2 of them include Orange and Osceola, and 10 out of 11 suspects have been arrested in the nearly 6-month investigation. Right now, the Sanford Planning Board is weighing in on a plan that would bring big changes to the city's waterfront. The city is considering rezoning the former Mayfair Hotel. It has a history dating back to the early 1900s, but has been vacant for years. The new plan calls for 46 multifamily units and office space for a proposed missionary training center. We'll keep you updated here on News 6 and on clickorlando.com. Orange County's animal shelter is knocking down the cost to adopt. Today and tomorrow, adoption fees for cats and dogs will be just $10. Officials say it comes after nearly 150 animals arrived at the shelter over the Labor Day weekend, bringing the total number of animals at the shelter to nearly 400. You can visit the shelter today and tomorrow between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. All animals available for adoption are listed on the shelter's website. Getting health insurance through your job is about to hit your wallet harder when you could see a rise in your premium coming up. Plus, another Powerball drawing passed without a big winner on Wednesday, where the current jackpot stands, coming up.
Introducing the new $25 million Gold Rush Multiplier Scratch-Off from the Florida Lottery.
Lottery fever keeps on growing. No one hit all 6 numbers in Wednesday's drawing. Now the Powerball jackpot has skyrocketed to $1.7 billion. This jackpot will be the 3rd largest in U.S. lottery history. Chances of winning are about 1 in 292 million. But as Stephanie Rodriguez shows us, plenty of lottery players are dreaming of striking it rich.
If someone finally matches all 6 numbers during the next Powerball drawing, they'll be able to take home $770 million. Now that's, of course, if they take the lump sum option. There's also an annuity option to get payments, but the odds you'll get to choose between those two are very, very slim. It's 1 in 292.2 million to be exact. This is not only the 3rd largest jackpot in U.S. lottery history, it's also tied the game's record for most consecutive drawings without a jackpot winner, with Saturday's drawing being the 42nd since the jackpot was last won back in May. As the Powerball frenzy continues, people across the country lined up to get in on the action.
I have no expectations at all, and very rarely ever play the lottery, only when it gets this big.
My uncle told me literally like 15 minutes ago to go buy a ticket. I never played, so I'm just going to try it out today.
People in front of me, people in behind me, all, felt good vibes from them too. So I think somebody's going to win it from this store, but I hope it's me.
Despite there being no jackpot winner during Wednesday's drawing, 11 tickets won $1 million prizes, and one of those was sold right here in Florida. There were also 117 that won $50,000 and 36 that won $100,000, so make sure to check your tickets. You can buy your Powerball ticket right now through Saturday night, and then you can watch the Powerball drawing right here on WKMG during the news at 11 o'clock. Reporting in Seminole County, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
12:15, time to get you back to your forecast. Really looking gorgeous there from our Lunch Credit Union camera in Port Canaveral with that mix of sun and clouds. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is back now. And Candace, we're kind of sandwiched between two different air masses.
Exactly. So I don't want to just say rain chances are X, because it's not going to be for everybody, right? So we're going to see drier air kind of filtering in from the northern zones. You can see some of it as far south, let's say about Orange County. But within the last couple of frames, you can see some of that moisture starting to erode at some of that dry air. Plenty of moisture down to the south. So we're going to be tapping a little bit into both air masses for the next couple of days. So with that being said, if you're basically north of Orlando today, you're going to see a relatively drier day. Your coverage of rain down to about 20 to 30%. A little further south, it's not a slam dunk chance for rain, but we will see about a 40 to 30% chance of some scattered showers. Let's show you what those scattered showers look like. You can see by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, a couple hit or miss little downpours here. We're not talking about anything strong or severe. We're not looking at the east and west coast sea breeze coming together and forming those rockin' thunderstorms into the evening. That's not the case for the next couple of days. Because of this pattern in place, the east and west coast sea breeze aren't really kind of coming together and colliding where they need to be. It's been a pretty consistent onshore breeze. Same setup for Friday. As we start wrapping up the work week and into the weekend, do expect a lot more of the same. Spotty showers, coverage still on the lower side of things for most of us. But if you do get caught under one of those showers, they're packing more tropical kind of rain, so they will be dumping a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So some of those localized pockets of some short-term flooding can't be ruled out, even as we head into the weekend. But now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for your Thursday.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency, you ought to call Strata.
So your highs this afternoon running where they should be for this time of the year. Our average high is 91. We'll be hitting about 90 with rain chances again fluctuating depending on where you are. So for instance, in Orlando, you're looking at about a 30 to 40%. So again, this stalled out front will stay stalled out for another day, and then it will start to retreat back up north. We're watching an area of low pressure kind of crisscrossing the state. Now, the exact kind of placement of this low will really tell us how much more rain we're going to see. So we're going to keep those rain chances at about 40%. Could go up a little further, though, as we head into next week, all ahead of another cold front that's going to be digging through parts of the country. Now, this next cold front by Sunday and into Monday is going to be bringing a nice blast of fall-like weather to most of the country. Not Florida. I make sure to put that there in the banner. You can see temperatures will be down into those 30s, 40s, and 50s as far south as about Nashville. And then the deep south still staying, well, still summer-like in those 70s. Now, we are going to be watching more of those robust cold fronts coming through, and we're going to try rooting on some of those cold fronts, because as long as those cold fronts are coming as far south as they have been, it's going to help create that little buffer between us and tropical systems. Like Invest 91L. You can see it is still spinning there a couple miles, still just west of the Cabo Verde Islands. You can see as of now an 80% chance of potential development. So let's just show you one of the many model runs. We're looking at trends. So overall, it's going to continue to trend towards the west. Could get pretty close towards the northern Leeward Islands, maybe Puerto Rico as we head into, let's say, this Saturday, Sunday. Not this Saturday and Sunday, next Saturday and Sunday. But I'm stopping the clock here. This is Monday, September 15th. Today's September 3rd. So we are talking, or September 4th. We're still talking about 10, 12, 13 days out. We're going to be watching for when this jet stream dips, how much do these high pressure systems weaken, giving it an escape route, because that's what we'd like to see. Something almost kind of Aaron-like, right? Something that we saw earlier this year. So in the meantime, though, is this something we need to be stressing out about? No, not at all. But it is something you want to make sure you're keeping close tabs on it, because again, we are going to be talking about the system for the next 2 weeks. Back here at home, though, decent chance for a couple scattered showers into your weekend. Julie.
Candace, thank you. It can be a big burden for many American families. In minutes, the new data predicting workers will be paying more in their company health insurance premiums next year. Getting health insurance through your job is about to get more expensive. A new survey from employer benefits consulting firm Mercer reveals that workers can expect to pay, on average, 6 to 7% more in health insurance premiums next year. Some employers say they'll try to limit those increases, but that typically means you'll pay higher deductibles and out-of-pocket costs instead. Many companies are offering more plan options, including some with lower copays, depending on which doctor you visit. This upcoming rise marks the steepest increase in health insurance costs in the last 15 years. When kangaroos made a break for it in Waco, some Texas first responders had to hop to it. How this unexpected chase turned into a memorable adventure coming up.
And I'm like, what's going on? And I look over, and there were 2 kangaroos just out in the wild.
I thought, oh, skibbity, what an excellent Tuesday evening this is.
I mean, it would be an excellent Tuesday evening. Things got hopping for Waco police when 2 officers chased 2 escaped kangaroos from a wildlife rescue. Thanks to a team effort, first responders were able to corral the kangaroos and safely return them. I just want to look at that video a little while. Oh, skibbity, what a great Tuesday. I know, we're gonna have to work that into our lexicon there.
Yeah, please, let's please not.
So cute. Maybe not, yeah. So we are going to be tracking some isolated showers today and keeping a close eye on the tropics.
And I want to always put the disclaimer, this little wave here, we've been talking about it for about a week or so. We're going to talk about it for another 2 weeks. This is one that we're going to be watching closely. It's that time of the year. We get these waves rolling off the coast of Africa. They sit out there for a while. Then the big question is will it turn? Will it not? Will it veer? Will it not? It's still so early to tell. So at this point, we're just kind of splitting hairs. But what you need to know about as of right now, the weekend, dodging a little bit of rain, just keep your eyes on the tropics. Keep checking back in.
Sounds good. Thanks, Candace. Switch over right now to the News 6 Plus streaming app or clickorlando.com to watch News 6 Extra. Have a great day.